Hey everyone, what is up? So I just recently got back from Bonita Springs, Florida. I made a trip out to the 8-Bit Hall of Fame, which is like it's a video game store, but they specialize, I would say, in retro games. They do have newer stuff too, 360, PlayStation 4. It's a really cool place, and one of the things I noticed when I first walked in the door is they had pinball machines. That is so cool. They had pinball machines and some arcade machines to play. They had like a Guns N' Roses, Twilight Zone, Bonsai Run. So right away in the display cases, I noticed they had some boxed Nintendo 64 games, some boxed Super Nintendo games, and some of the better Super Nintendo games locked up. They had a whole display case. It just had Final Fantasy stuff. So they were stocked. I mean, they had all the stuff you would want. They even had a display case full of like the Zelda and Mario games. And we're not just talking like one copy of, you know, like a specific Zelda game, but they'd have like multiple copies. So this place was stocked. Then over by the checkout counter, they had some cool consoles like the 3DO, TurboGrafx, Atari Lynx. They even had some not for resale cartridges that I've never seen before on the Super Nintendo. Lots of cool stuff. So they do have seating where you can just chill and play games, and if there's a particular game you're thinking about getting, you can just try it out real quick. And then they had this huge row of Super Nintendo games, Genesis games, all sorted by alphabetical order, and they had so much stuff there. I could not believe it. I spent so much time picking through all the games, but fortunately they were sorted alphabetically, so I didn't have to spend too much time finding the games that I was missing in my collection. And they had just a whole bunch of Sega CD, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast stuff you just typically don't see at too many retro game stores. And usually this stuff is pretty picked over. I mean, they got accessories, they've got systems, they've got shirts, video game related shirts, lots of cool stuff to pick from. I mean, there's just games everywhere, like just on shelves everywhere. In fact, I spent a lot of time in that store and I missed a lot of stuff. I realized looking back on the footage I recorded, I was like, oh man, I forgot to check out the Nintendo DS games, or oh, I forgot to check out, you know, something else. It was just crazy. There's just so much stuff there. But yeah, they've got the 360 games, PlayStation 3, I mean, you name it. Man, look at all these Master System titles. Master System's one I've been wanting to collect for, and I just barely grazed the surface of it and just started getting a few titles here and there, but I had to cut myself off at some point. I really only picked up Super Nintendo games here, and I didn't get boxed Super Nintendo games. I'm not going for a boxed collection, just loose carts. And I did pick up a ton of Super Nintendo games. Basically, this entire thing is full of Super Nintendo games, and I'm going to try to go over all of these in my Super Nintendo Collection Quest, but I probably won't do it all in one video. I may have to separate it into multiple videos. So the store owner is Jason, and I spoke with him for a while, and he said that he was there for about a year and a half now, and when he first opened up, he opened up with like a good majority of his collection he just put out on the shelf for sale. And that is a really cool thing. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. I would be so worried that all the good games would go and I'd be left with like a pile of sports games and then the business would fail or something. But no, this guy, he actually did a really good job here, and he says he's brought in so much more games. Now most of the games you see there are not from his collection, but stuff that people have brought in to trade in or sell. And obviously he's done really well at this location. It looks great. Highly recommend it if you're in the area of Bonita Springs, Florida, or if you're planning a trip and you're gonna be around the area. I highly recommend you check it out. It's a great place, cool guy, and a really cool store. So definitely check out my Super Nintendo Collection Quest video for the month of October. I'm gonna be going over these games here, and I'm probably gonna have to do it in multiple parts. So I may have a 2 or 3 part just for the month of October. Be sure to check it out. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I will see you later.